Good day once again, everyone. Kurt Ashcraft here for DSN Classic Conversation. Today we are joined by none other than Denison field hockey head coach PJ Soteriades. How you doing, PJ? I understand it's definitely a less than normal fall season, but how is everything going?
It's going really well. We've really enjoyed the opportunity to have our entire team back on campus and having the opportunity to practice. We have a large group of freshmen this year, and we're very bookend, very large senior class, very large freshman class, and it's been really nice to have the opportunity to slow things down a little bit and get some extra touches on the ball without the pressure of preparing for a game each week.
I can imagine.
It's also a little bittersweet because we have such a talented group this year, and we've done some inter-squad scrimmaging, and that's when it's been really bittersweet to see what our team can do, but yet not have the ability to test it against a different opponent other than ourselves.
I can only imagine. Anytime you have talent like that, especially in the senior class and even the lower classes, that has to be a bittersweet moment. Yeah. Well, we're going to actually take a step back and look at a really good team back in 2018. Back on September 1st, 2018, when you guys hosted Center, and you opened the 2018 campaign with a penalty shootout thriller at Deeds Field, Piper Stadium, one that saw the Big Red come out victorious after some of your key contributors really stepped up in a big way. We're just going to go ahead and kind of get into that moment, go right back to that point, September 1st, 2018, as we set the stage. Take us back to that moment, PJ. You're at this point, you're currently trailing the Colonels 1-0 with 10 minutes to go. And at this point, who are you trying to get the ball to? What's the whole plan? Where's your mind at?
Well, the idea was we had to get it in the circle and either capitalize on a goal right away, or we needed to draw a penalty corner. And what's fascinating about this is, Charlotte Godfrey ends up coming up with a goal, but it's Charlotte Happel that instigates the play. And those two were so fun to watch for years. They just had a great chemistry, and they knew where each other were at all times and really did a great job connecting. Charlotte Happel gets the ball. She takes it into the circle or sends it into the circle, connects with Charlotte Godfrey, and the rest kind of sets us up for a great finish.
Absolutely. You talk about that pairing for a 3-year stretch. That was pretty fun to watch. We're just going to go ahead and press play, and here we go. We're going to go right back to that moment and see where Charlotte sets up Charlotte here on September 1st, 2018, Denison versus Center at Deeds Field, Piper Stadium. So at this point, Happel sends it inside, and Godfrey takes possession.
Yep.
And Charlotte Godfrey, classic of her, inside the cage or just outside the cage, and with one of those sweeping shots, just getting it in past the cage to tie it up at this point against a really good Center team.
Yes, Godfrey is known for her speed, both her leg speed and her hand speed, and just getting the touch on that ball right in front of the keeper. She was able to get low and get a reverse stick shot on the keeper, which is a very difficult shot for a keeper to make a save, especially when at the angle in which the ball came in. The goalie did a great job of attempting to make that save, but Godfrey had just a step on her to block her out before she executed the shot.
And we're going to go right to the penalty shootout. And you put a lot of confidence in a freshman, Maya Tumiwa. And where are you at right now in confidence with her?
Well, what's ironic about this, and what a lot of people didn't realize, is Maya was probably in her 20th game ever playing in the time that she took that shootout. Maya came to us as a ice hockey player, having only played one season of high school field hockey. So having that background in ice hockey, I knew she was very good, and we had learned this through practicing. She was confident with one-on-ones because she had done them so much in ice hockey. The only challenge was she was on turf and not ice, and she does excellent job of reading the keeper and choosing the timing in which to take her shots.
You talk about, we just follow that up with a big save from Taya Adams, keeping that early 1-0 lead in the penalty shootout, and now bringing up a player in Charlotte Godfrey.
Absolutely. Again, someone who likes the pressure, has the speed, has the hand speed. Goalkeeper comes out, makes a great save, or actually channels her out just a little bit too far outside for a great angled shot, and hence the ball wasn't able to make the back of the cage.
At this point, were you worried still being up by one score at this point, TJ?
I don't think I'm ever confident until it's over. You never count the win before it happens, and anything can happen in an overtime contest, whether it be in regulation, full field play, or if it's in a shootout. So no, I'm never confident.
Well, I bet you felt a little bit more confident after another big save from Taya at this point, coming up back-to-back saves and penalty shootout. And at this point, Taya hadn't really started her freshman year. It was Carrie Lawler, and now you put her in a position like this, and she comes up with two big moments.
Taya had done a lot of work over the summer, and it really showed right off the bat in preseason. Taya is also a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers tend to have a different style, respectively, about them. Both of my keepers are excellent. Taya loves pressure. She lives for this opportunity with shootouts, penalty strokes. She wants to be the person when all the pressure's on the line to be put in action.
Back to another freshman, Rachel Kelsey, going with the backhand shot to get it in past the cage, and now you're up 2-0. That's got to be something that at this point, with Taya Adams back in the cage, you got to feel confident.
Again, no, not until it's over. Center's a great team. They're always competitive. They had great players that year, so until we secure that win, we weren't counting on anything. But Taya was making some tremendous saves, and I knew we had some great players coming up next in line to take some shootouts.
Well, Caroline Brodsky just scored the first penalty shootout goal for Center. Now you're up 2-1, and you're going to then a junior in Caroline Little. Now you're assistant coach. Where were you at with her at this point in terms of the ability that she could score this one?
Well, Kurt, there's some players that you hope you get to coach in your career, and Caroline Little is one of them. You practice shootouts, you practice strokes, and she is someone who just always finds a way to make it happen. So when she was next up in line, I guess that's where a little bit more confidence came. Was tremendous at reading keepers, having great timing, and always finding the back of the cage in a pressured situation such as that.
Back on another pressure situation, Olivia Carter trying to keep Center in it, but her shot from the right side, kick save and a beauty from Taya Adams, seals the victory for you. At this point, you had to be confident, right? After the final goal was scored and everything was done. But what kind of moment was that, PJ, where you literally went toe-to-toe with a really good opponent in Center, and you went down to the very nitty-gritty and you were able to secure that win? What was that moment like?
It was great. As I said, Center is a perennially tough opponent for us. We love playing them. Many of our athletes have played with and against their teammates, their roster members over the years. But it was not to take anything away from Center, but it was a great thing for us because we learned a lot about what we were very early on. And I think that helped propel our momentum. We learned that we could come back from a deficit really early on. We were able to be in a shootout situation and have our underclassmen really take a strong lead in that. And it built confidence for us. It wasn't a matter of projecting us to, the end all be all of a season. It enabled us to have confidence going into the next game. And that confidence continued to build throughout the year, which was a really great thing to have from the first game of the season.
Well, according to our records, this was the third penalty shootout that you had coached in during your time at Denison. Do you like them, or are they a little maddening to you?
I hate them. I hate them. Some goalies love them. I am a coach. I do not like them. I am going to be honest. I'd rather have a blowout victory than have to get to this nail-biting situation.
Again, kind of like we talked about, Coach, where you earned such a dramatic win over Center. How do you think that jump-started the type of season that you had going into another NCAC championship type of season that you ended up winning the regular season and the conference championship tournament once again?
Well, I think as a program, we don't focus a whole lot on our victories. We don't spend a lot of time enjoying it. Maybe that's a bad thing, but we use it as an opportunity to say, what do we need to fix and what did we gain from? And I think that season we really did an excellent job of, enjoying that victory, moving past it, and then using that knowledge to improve our team each game that season. And, you can't control what happens at the end, but you can control what happens in the day-to-day. And I think that team was very special in that they learned that and they bought into that very early and enabled us to have a fun and exciting season.
Over your 20 years at Denison, PJ, where does a win like this stack up for you?
I've been lucky. I've had some really fun and exciting wins over my career here at Denison. And that's like choosing which child is your favorite. They all matter. They all are special for many reasons that, the scoreboard doesn't really tell. That story doesn't tell. It's the day-to-day of working with each specific team and all of these women that's the inside story that makes this special, and the makeup of each team. So, can I rate it over others? I don't know. But it was a very fun, and just even watching the playback of this, you asked, do I like this? My heart is in my throat watching this because I go back to that moment, and, obviously it was a fun and exciting moment because years later, I'm still getting heart palpitations, even knowing the outcome of it.
Well, Coach, I hope you enjoyed going down memory lane as much as we did. And again, we wish you nothing but the best for the rest of the fall and hopefully into the spring as well. And we just wish you the best here from DSN.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So welcome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here for another DSN Classic Conversation. We'll see you next time.